Today I'm going to share my go-to routine that targets large pores, blackheads, acne, and dark spots and hyperpigmentation because they just flare up when it gets hot. And I created a guide for you guys so you know exactly what you need and when to use it to follow along. And I'll be sharing my favorite 2 tips at the end, which no one really talks about, but actually makes everything else in your routine work so well. So let's get started. Starting with the daily routine, simple 3 steps. Cleanse, tone, moisturize, and then during the day, add an SPF. So first starting with cleansers, for pores and breakouts and just any kind of like textured skin, I love these. These are my favorite enzyme type cleansers, and they're my favorite because they also are mildly exfoliating, so it takes care of everything with the pores. This one I've been using a lot of lately, and I brought it to Hawaii with me because it helped to draw out the impurities because it's got a little bit of charcoal. This is from the Japanese brand Suicide. And then you guys know I love the Peach and Lily. This is the Glass Skin Face Polisher, and it's got rice extract in there, but also green tea, ginseng, and a little bit of BHA exfoliants. And you'll see a lot of them have like fruit enzymes that also help to break down dead skin. So that's super effective. Then if you don't want or you don't like or care for enzymes, then I highly suggest like a gel or foam based cleanser. So this one, you guys know the Acne Pear like spot treatment is a wizard at getting rid of acne. So if you have super oily skin and acne prone, then I would suggest getting maybe like a foaming one. This one's really gentle.
You only need a teeny tiny bit with these and emulsify. Ooh. So I've used a lot of foam cleansers and a lot of them can be really drying. This one surprisingly is not. It's actually quite moisturizing, leaves your skin feeling very soft.
So basically you just want a really solid cleanser, and bonus points if it's got the exfoliation property. Step 2 of the essential routine is your skin prep, or I would say toners. So one thing to note is that large pores, blackheads, and breakouts are all the same thing. It just has to do with keeping your pores tight and hydrated. And I have 2 of my current favorites here. So this is the VT Riedel, where I did a whole review on it, but my conclusion is that it's the best for texture as well as pore care. Because of those little micro sponges and Riedels, everything that you put on top is going to penetrate deeper. But if you just want your skincare to work a little bit every day to manage those pores, then the 100 is more than enough. And I'm like basically done with the 100. I really like it. When it comes to pores, for me, a toner is an essential, especially if you have oily skin or acne prone where you want to just keep it light. So this is the new one from Beauty of Joseon, one of my favorite Korean brands. This is the Glow Replenishing Rice Milk. So I'm sure if you've had TikTok or IG, you've seen a lot of those viral videos of people using the rice wash water to like use on their face. And it is an age-old beauty secret. Like my mom used to give me that water to wash my face all the time. However, what no one talks about is the fact that bacteria can grow really easily if it's not in like a well-formulated environment, right? So I would say leave the formulation to the people that know what's best. Ever since I got it, because it's a new launch, I brought it to Hawaii with me, used it for the whole week, and I didn't break out once. So this is formulated for acne prone as well as dehydrated skin, which is ding, ding, ding. Rice as an ingredient is anti-inflammatory, but it's also subtly brightening, but also floods your skin with antioxidants. So it's helping with, you know, redness and calming.
So as you can see, I've put sunscreen on my face, my body, but still my hands and my whole existence has tanned like 5 shades darker, except my face has stayed really glowy and nice. And it hasn't even broken out, considering my skin always breaks out when it's hot.
And the formula is actually broken into like 2 sections. It's really nice. Da, 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 da. This is the like toner section, and then this is all that ricey goodness. It's legit like you just washed rice. See, it's like this cloud-like effect. It's actually really cool. 10 being super jelly and 0 being just water. This is about like a 2. It's really lightweight. There's no scent. It instantly calms. And then you can skin flood with this. You can layer 7 layers on it, whatever. So if you guys are fans of Beauty of Joseon, you already know that they have 3 different types of toners. This one is specifically for helping hydrate, but also sebum control. So this is exactly what we want. So that's your simple day routine. Now at nighttime, what you might want to do, if you have pores, blackheads, and breakouts, I highly recommend you try including a retinol into your nighttime routine, because retinol or vitamin A is the most effective at controlling the sebum in your pores and therefore minimizing it. These are my favorites because they're affordable and they work really well. This is the Sun By Me Retinol Intense Reactivating Serum. It's got 0.1 of the retinol as well as retinol.
This one, it's fluid and lightweight, so I really concentrate this over my nose and the cheeks as well as the chin, so basically everywhere. Vitamin A is really good at controlling the sebum that comes out of your pores, therefore reducing the pore size, but also reducing the potential for the pores to get blocked and produce acne. So that's how it works on one side. So actually these two together are a dream, because you want really soothing and hydrating ingredients in your routine when you are using a retinol, and using them together makes my skin glow and become so smooth. The texture is so nice. And then this is the Cocoa Kind Retinol Gel. This is like a booster gel, I would say. You can use it right before you're moisturizing in the nighttime routine. Just a thin layer, but this is super lightweight, spreads evenly, and is affordable as well. And my pores, they never even get to the point where they're filled when I use retinol. So if you're a beginner for retinol, I would suggest using it every 3 or 4 days. If you know it works, maybe every other day. And if you really love it and you're like, yeah, my pores are excellent, then every day in your nighttime routine, because it also helps with fine lines and wrinkles. So for retinols, you really want to be consistent with it, because if you only use it here and there every once a week and then 3 weeks later, it's not going to work, but it is super effective. Now, I want to touch on tools. This is the Medicube 6-in-1 Booster Pro, and it has all the functions you'll need. But the one you want to use specifically to minimize your pores is the Air Shot. So there's 5 different levels, and I would suggest starting from 1. Now, do you need a tool? No, right? If you have everything else, but the Air Shot is designed to help minimize. So when you get to the mode, I like using it on level 3. There's this like sensor where you touch it and it will start going like that. So it makes it easy to kind of follow along with now, versus the original Air Shot, you kind of didn't know where you were going. This one now has kind of like a light guidance, if you can see. So as soon as you kind of like graze the head, it will start sending those little lights into there. So you want to just run this all along dry skin. So my face doesn't have anything. I just finished like washing it, and then just work it all over the face, essentially. You feel like on level 3, I do feel a tiny little bit of like zap at the very beginning. So you don't want to use this for more than 5 minutes a day, and you can use this 2 to 3 times a week. And also they made this Booster Pro version of the Air Shot easier to use and less like shocking on the skin, but more effective.
Session complete.
Ding! I want to note, when you're using the Air Shot or anything with here, I would avoid using the VT Riedel for that night, just for that night. Now moving on to masks, there is a very specific way that I like using them to help control the pores. So I like going in with some sort of mud mask first, and then pairing it with your favorite sheet mask. So I'll do this in one night. So for my mask, you guys know I've gone through multiple tubs of the Beauty of Joseon, the refreshing pore mask. I just love it so much. So you better believe I was so excited when they came out with their new one. It's also in the rice line. This is the Ground Rice and Honey Glow Mask. Rice and honey, yes.
It is so smooth, guys. It's like you made overnight oats or something, but it's creamy and soft and there's no scent to it.
But the interesting thing is, it does have a little bit of kaolin clay, but is much less clayey or like hard clay than even the red bean. And the red bean is already really flexible. So this one is even more softening. I think it's like a softening mask. It's got rice hull powder, rice bran, as well as the honey and kaolin.
I think anything for me with honey is a winner. Honestly, honey and rice, acne skin, sensitive skin. So this mask really helps me even out those little bits of flaky areas. Does that not look like porridge on the face? So it's actually like honestly one of the softest clay masks I've ever used. I am back.
So what I like to do is just get some water first and then just like work it into the skin. And I feel like this adds extra light exfoliation into the skin before I wash it off. Voila! It feels like my skin has already been moisturized. I wish you guys could feel it afterwards. So you wash that off and now you're ready to inject hydration. Just pair it with any sheet mask. So pop that on. I've been really enjoying this Yina one. It's got ginseng and centella. You'll notice after you do two together that your skin is so bright.
I just want to show you, look how nice these bicellulose sheets are. Like they just like a dolphin to the skin. Think. And it leaves just the right amount of essence.
Something to note is that if you can or if you want to, I would suggest sheet masking every day. You will see your skin transform because hydration, guys, and your pores are like. My first secret tip is if you have blackheads and large filled pores, like you can physically see them in the mirror, using products alone is very, very hard to disintegrate that like lodged oil in there. I would be lying to you if I said that skincare alone can get rid of stubborn filled pores. You have to get it out. A blackhead or a whitehead is just pus that's either exposed to the air and turns black, turns into a blackhead, or it's under the skin and remains a whitehead. So unless you physically get it out, it's going to be hard to empty that pore.
I think you can see I get a lot of blackheads in this like nostril curve and on this side. And then on the tips of my nose. So the thing is, if I don't squeeze this out in a...
And this is the thing, I'm not encouraging you to like push it out because it could definitely scar your skin if you don't do it right.
Once again, I'm not encouraging this, but like, I don't know. I kind of fold over a little square piece of toilet paper into a small square. So I'm just gonna lightly push. Boom. Do you see that grain of rice right here? If it takes a lot of pressing, just stop because you're gonna like hurt your skin. So if it doesn't come out easily, avoid it, move on to the next part. Only if it comes out easily, and like the trick is to press like down in the skin rather than just like on the surface. Take these tips with a grain of salt, honestly, just go to get a professional done, but this is what works for me. This is all the stuff that came out. Look at this blackhead.
What you can also do is to use these exfoliating pads. So this is the Medicube Zero Pore Pad. Rose talked about this before. We love it because it has a little bit of BHA, and BHA is the only chemical exfoliant that can break down a congested whitehead, blackhead, or just like filled pore.
So after that is a good time to exfoliate the rest of the face, and then like when I need it, I will go in with this, the Medicube. It's got some BHA, but it's really gentle and hydrating. And sometimes I get like rough, dead skin on my forehead, and then I want to kind of like sanitize that nose area. And it has this kind of like bumpy, soft texture. It's like pillowy and bumpy, and then it's flat on the other side. It's like a very gentle physical exfoliant and a chemical exfoliant, which is why it's great. And on top of that, I'm breaking out because of my like period here. So the BHA will also just help to
de-gunk any like clogged pores.
There's a lot of dead skin on here because it's no longer white. I just seem like the most nastiest person ever, but this is how you keep your pores clean.
Now, my second secret tip that no one will really tell you is that food can actually cause your body to produce more sebum on the skin, specifically high sugar foods, but also foods that are high in refined carbohydrates. What it does is specifically accelerate the IGF-1 hormone in our bodies, which is essentially linked to our sebaceous glands, and it will start producing more oil. And the link is these sugars and carbs cause blood sugar levels to spike, and when these spike, it triggers inflammation and causes the body to produce more sebum. So just make sure, if you really are serious about wanting to have smooth textured skin, brightened skin, even skin, and no acne, food is really where it all kind of starts from and gets triggered by. So find out what your food triggers are. So mine is dairy, sugar, and excessive carbs. So whatever you're eating right now, just be more vigilant and see what you can kind of chop and change and swap out. So this is my guide. You guys feel free to chop and change the calendar schedule as you please. And it's through collectively doing all these together inside and out that we can get the perfect skin. So if you have your favorite pore tips, leave them and share it with everyone below. And I'll see you guys all really soon. Bye.